Hi there. If you're seeing this video is meant for you and you have to trust it. Either trust that this video is meant for you or please click off. And if you're an op and you do not want to see me win, I know that karma is coming to you. Okay, so what do I have to say today? I have to say to trust your fucking gut. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. And if you aren't fully in trust with that, then please do your homework and practice nervous system regulation. Practice reframing those negative thought loops and reframing those negative thought loops into positive thoughts. The more you do this, the more your negative thoughts are gonna keep showing up. It's a practice, and you have to practice mindfulness. Be aware of how much time you're spending in your mind, how much obsession with the thought world you're in. Now, how you trust your mind? How do you trust your gut? How do you trust your heart? Know if it's anxiety or if it's intuition. Intuition doesn't come with fear. Intuition is felt so deep in the core, and it gives you this aliveness. It stirs up the energy to want to take action. And that fear in the back of your head, that's the programming in your subconscious mind, in the unconscious. What you are aware, when you are aware of your thoughts, you are aware that your mind is constantly trying to keep you safe and keep you put in what is comfortable. And this is just from an observation and from hearing a lot about esoteric knowledge, psychology, spiritual knowledge, self-help books. Read. If you are barely on your journey, read. This is triggering something within you. Good. Know that when you take something personal, it's not about faulting yourself. It's about digging deeper and bringing that darkness into light, because that's all it wants, is to be brought to light. As soon as you give attention to it, you recognize it, you release it. Okay? And it sounds easier said than done because it is a practice. I've been on this journey since 2021, and it's very up and down. And I'm here to tell you, the more I do not trust my intuition, the longer it lags, the longer my manifestations take. And I don't like to say manifestations, but we'll say creativity. The longer the creativity takes, people like to say that they don't have to do anything, and it just happens. Of course you have to do something. Of course you have to take initiative and give your part to the universe, to your angels, to God. And you're doing it for God. You're doing it for the universe. You're doing it knowing that those desires, that intuition, that is not your human self. That is actually your soul. That is actually cosmic. And it's put into your heart for a reason, for you to take just the next step. And that step may be uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to listen to the intuition when you haven't listened to your heart for so long. It feels heavy. It feels like you are going to die, and that is ego death, because the ego wants to stay put. Your nervous system is literally has been used to fight or flight. Again, reframe your negative thoughts. Know that you are not your negative thoughts, and free yourself from the hive mind and come back to higher consciousness. Come back into remembrance of who you are. And if you are scared of being perceived, honey, everyone is perceiving you. And the good thing about that is, it does not matter how you're being perceived. It doesn't matter how you're being perceived, because their perception of you in their mind is not who you really are. That's not your truth. This video has gone through so many directions, but the main direction is take the next step. Trust your intuition. Reframe your mind. And know that some of these words that you're telling yourself that's going to be hard, know that it's not up to you, but it is the universe's plan for you. The universe is working 10 times harder for you to get what you desire, for you to get what you want, for you to get what you love. And that requires you to go really deep into the darkness of yourself and integrate the shadows. Integrate what your shadow self fears. Because you can't just do it from love and light. Because the sun is eventually going to go down. And it'll find its way into morning again, into rising. And a lot of things thrive in the darkness. And eventually, they'll need that light. They'll need that light to get their food source. And we're talking about nature here. To get their food source, you know. But it's what it's feeding on that matters. And what it's feeding on is what it's making grow. And I'm not saying make your darkness grow. Yeah, make your darkness grow. Make your darkness grow so much that you know what your darkness is. You know what your shadow aspects are. And when you integrate that, you no longer shame yourself for, say for example, me. I no longer have to shame myself for being overly critical. I understand that I am overly critical, but that I have to cool it down. And that it's okay. I don't have to judge myself. And then I don't have to like come so down that I never come back up again, you know? Again, recognize it and release it. If you resonated with anything I said, if this was confusing, if this was good, please, I want to hear it all down in the comments. And infinite blessings to you all. My name is Leslie. This is Journey with Leslie, and I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, month, year. This is the year of the fire horse. This is year 1. The next 9 years is how this next year, you're laying the foundation this year for the next 9 years. Okay. Have a beautiful day.